All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com, on the 1010XL app, of course, all throughout social media, other podcast platforms. You will catch this show and many, many others. We are live on Facebook as well, on 1010's page. And great to be here, great to be alive. Brought to you by Team Tommy Mack, Chris Lucero's bail bonds. Get thrown in the clink, he gets you out in a blink. J-Dog Junk Removal, they're veteran-owned and operated, man. They are looking for workers, too. Azar Sausage, some of the best sausage you'll ever have. Carpet Man Flooring, it's not just LVP, man, but it's the best at the lowest prices. Truck Accident Law Firm, man. All they do is truck crashes. That's why they are so good at what they do. The dream team in truck accidents. All right, here at 1010XL, of course, just got done with Jaguars today. And before we move forward, let's say hello and good afternoon to my esteemed producer. It's Grammage. What's up, Grammage?
Happy Friday, sir. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm good. It's alumni weekend. So we got an event tonight at the Lemon Bar down at the beach. So that'll be cool. Guys that have never been there before, it'll blow their mind. Wow, this is pretty cool. Right on the beach. It should be a beautiful night. And then, of course, the game Sunday. Saturday, there's an event. I'm not going to the day event because I'm going to Matt Thornton's funeral, which is tomorrow. My pal that passed away unexpectedly about a week or less than a week ago. About a week ago. It was last Thursday. God bless him and rest his soul. But I will be going to the event Thursday night. And then I've got a event to go to at night on Saturday night. So I'm going to go to the dinner with the fellas. And then I got to haul ass back to the beach because our good friend Joey Harrison's getting married, and they're having a little shower, and it'll be a good time. So ready for some ball, though, man. It's a huge game. Jags back to work at 6-2, winners of 5. The 49ers 5-3, losers of 3 in a row each time. They've only scored 17 points in the last 3 outings. So they need a victory. We need a victory just to keep the train rolling all night long, without a doubt. And I do have them winning. I think it's going to be a tough game, but it's going to be a fun game to watch. You're going to see a lot of star power, a lot of plays out there. It should be an interesting game, without question. But look, I don't think it's. Yes, it's San Fran. Yes, you make a statement by beating them, right? But let's be honest, they're not the class of the NFC right now. They're not. They're a good team that has shown that they've got some holes in their team. And one of the biggest holes is their quarterback when he gets under pressure, because he starts seeing ghosts. I tell you one thing I have seen out of Brock Purdy, who I like. He's a good player. But when you get pressure on him, he starts seeing things, and you'll make him make bad throws and poor decisions. So I look forward to all of that. But I don't want, this isn't a game so big that if you don't win, that it really hurts you that bad, because at the end of the day, it doesn't. And let me just say this about the national media, who continues to try to take shots at our team and our organization. When the Jags beat San Fran, you're going to sit there and go, what? Well, San Fran's not that good this year anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
You're blame if the time change.
Right. If San Fran wins, well, now we know the Jags aren't that real, which is a false statement. And I'm not going to get off on a tangent because it's not worth it. And I'm going to say to everybody out there that are Jags fans, these national pundits, they don't know. They don't live here. They don't spend time here. They don't know. They have no idea how special this place is. So, send them to St. Francis is what I say. And I'll tell you what that means off air, but I came up with it last night because we had Tommy Mack's Happy Hour at the Graffiti American Burger Bar in Jax Beach. Big Sofa was Aaron Beasley and my guest last night. And, man, we had a great time reminiscing with him and talking about his career, talking about the Jags, talking about what he's doing. Just an awesome show every Thursday at Tommy Mack's Happy Hour at the Graffiti Burger Bar. So good times, man. Good times. It's a great week. Jags are back to playing ball. It feels like they haven't played a game in a while, and they haven't. Feels like it anyway. They get back to it. Now it's, hey, we got 9 weeks. We got 9 weeks. This is go time, man. You got to strap it in. You got to dig deep, and you got to find a way to win more than not, right? Hey, we're great. We're 6-2, but at the end of the day, we haven't done anything yet. But a win against San Fran would be a good, hey, keep that train rolling. Now we're up to 6 wins in a row, and that stuff gets contagious, without a doubt.
All they've done so far is set up really good groundwork for the stretch.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. Like last year when they went on their tear at the end of the season,
right?
That tear was just to get them in the playoffs.
Right.
This year, if you go on a similar tear, you're going to be talking number 1, number 2 seed in the AFC.
That's right.
Which, what did you and I talk about this offseason?
Right.
The next step for this football team was
to advance
and to make your life easier in the playoffs.
Yep.
And I mean, look, it's no secret. We talked about this in the offseason as well. The Chiefs have been to they've been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years,
right.
I believe,
and 4 AFC championships or something like that.
And guess what?
Yep.
They host every year.
That's right.
They get a giant leg up every year. So when we say they haven't done anything yet, that is absolutely true.
Yep.
But at least you've set the groundwork to put yourself. You could be looking at yourself in late December, early January, and being like, "Damn, people got to come here and they got to see us."
You absolutely could, and that very well could happen. There's no doubt about that. But a lot of football left to be played.
Tons of football.
And
left.
we know, hey, look, if you look at it from a different angle, okay, well, what hasn't been that good? Our offense has been okay. It goes into these lulls or lags or whatever you want to call it every game. I just heard on Jaguars today that the amount of fumbles, I think we're second or third. We put the ball on the ground 17 times. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Well, we've recovered 8, I think, and lost 9. Or 9, we've recovered 9 and lost 8, something like that. Well, there's only 4 picks. So the rest are fumbles. That's Trevor, and that's the backs, and that maybe a receiver or two who, fumbled. I think, who was that, Kirk maybe or somebody like that.
Agnew had a fumble.
Right. So they collectively add up, right? Those things can't happen. And granted, like what's the positive side of it? Yeah, Tom, they haven't put it together offensively a 4-quarter game yet, but yet they're scoring 30 points. Not average, and they're averaging 24.1, but they are capable of putting up 30 plus on teams, even when they're not playing well. Even when, look, their yards per carry is 3.8 as an offense. ETN's 3.9. That's not really impressive. Now, ETN's been impressive with every collective, the collective work that he's done running the ball and touchdowns and in the passing game as well. But they're not killing it with the running game. They're not good on offensive on third down. They're still at 35.5% on third down as an offense. That we still haven't seen the explosive, what we're expecting out of Ridley. Saw some glimpses early. I'm just being the devil's advocate here. Which means what? They got work to do, which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. What do you want as you go through, right? You want to be getting better and better and better and better. And it's a good feeling to sit here and say, you know what? We're on a 5-game winning streak, and we have not played our best football yet.
Not even close.
That's a powerful thing for a coach to say to his team and for his team to believe it, and they believe it. They believe it.
And I think it's so effective too to keep the team motivated.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of games, I think about the Colts game here in Jacksonville was a big one.
Yep.
Where even the Steelers game.
Yeah.
They hung on and won, which was great. Both of those games, which are 2 of your 3 most recent games,
yep.
They didn't finish well. They won the games,
right.
But if you're a player on the team, you're at the end of the game, you're probably kind of thinking like, damn, like I wish I made that one extra play to shut the door. I wish I did that one. And I think it's kind of a perfect scenario to keep the team hungry and motivated, because I would highly doubt right now that locker room is sitting there thinking that they're the best.
Not
team.
after what they went through.
Correct.
Houston was an embarrassing loss.
Right.
They were not expecting that. They thought they could just show up and beat Houston because they had a rookie QB, basically, and a new coach and all that. But they're not going to feel that way anymore. I think they've learned their lesson. I'd be shocked if they're reading the press clippings again, like Doug said early in the year. I'll tell you what, and not to go off on it, but Doug as a psychologist is unbelievable, or psychiatrist. I never can determine the two or distinguish the two. But think about this. let's go back to last year first. You beat Baltimore in thrilling fashion at home. You go up to Detroit and get shellacked, 41-10. And what does he say? This is an anomaly. This isn't what we are. This is not who. And guess what? His team responded in a big way. They believed it, right? Even when they went up there and got their ass kicked by Detroit. It was awful. And yet he still said, no, that's not us. We're going to show what's us. Now, in his defense, what was his ammo? All those losses last year were one score less, right? I mean, about one, well, no, it can't be one score less, but one score, right? 3-7, whatever. Yep. Or 8 maybe. You'd have to get the 2 point, but it wasn't like getting blown out. They got blown out, and he still kept them together. That is the mark of a great motivator, which you need to have for your head coach.
All they did was go undefeated the rest of the regular season.
Right.
They never lost again in the regular season.
And then take this year, which I criticized it, or I critiqued it because I'm like, what do you mean press clippings in week 2? What do you mean you got to get out of town? It's a good time to get out of town. And I was like, this is weird. Like, it's only week 3. You got to believe in the press clippings. Well, why? Like, in the offense, look, during camp, the offense got blown smoke up their ass so much that they started saying the same stuff. They did. They would publicly, oh, yeah, we're going to set records. Oh, yeah, we're going to do this. Oh, yeah, we're going to... And it's hard to do. But anyway, regardless of that, what does he do? He was right. They did need to get away. And they got closer while they were away. And then they started winning. And next thing you know, it's just a contagious thing. Now, with the break, you got to be concerned of what? And San Fran had it too. Just a little rust in the beginning, right? You want to be on point. You want to be in timing and rhythm. You haven't had game speed for about 10 days, so you have to get acclimated to that. So will they, so there's no advantage there or whatnot. You got to get over the fact that, look, they have some stars on their team. We do too, but just giving San Fran their due. They have some stars on their team. McCaffrey is a phenomenal football player. He's a superstar. Trent Williams is a superstar if he plays. He's questionable, the star left tackle. Debo is a big-time player, without a doubt. Purdy, take away the last 3 weeks, he's one of the known quarterbacks because of the way he's been playing. Ayuk can get down the field, but maybe not a superstar yet. Defense, you got Nick Bosa. You got Chase Young now. You got 2 inside backers that are phenomenal.
Fred Warner might be the best linebacker in the NFL.
Well, I like really Araluakin too, but he can do it all too. Look, they're good. They're 54 and 57 for San Fran are very good football players, without a doubt. We're going to have to try to neutralize them a little bit. They do give up 4.1 yards a carry on the ground. Our Jags are at 3.6. Now, the per game is pretty close. They're only at 88, and we're at 79. So you never know how that, why so, when they're 4.1, we're at 3.6. We're third in the league. Our run defense. Can't let McCaffrey get going. Tony Smith, Fat Tony who's not fat, on Jaguars Today pointed out when McCaffrey's held under like 105 yards or not, whatever, something like that, they lose. They haven't been winning. Can you control him is the question. But they do. But you got to get over that star power. That's part of like when you play Dallas for the first time, like, ooh, it's Dallas, you got Dak, you had Zeke, whoever, you know what I'm saying? And you have that mystique, but it at the end of the day, you're just playing ball. And then you go beat them, and it doesn't matter. But I will tell you this, Grammage, because I have this feeling. Look, 49ers, their backs are against the wall. If they lose this game, they fall to like a game and a half behind Seattle in the West. The NFC West.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy to think, right? Because you think San Fran's on top of the world all the time. No, not this year. They are fighting and clawing. So they need this victory big time. They need to get off the schneid, get that bad taste out of their mouth, and come to Jacksonville and win that game. Well, that's too bad. I'll send you to St. Francis again because it doesn't matter. Because this team, like everybody's been saying, it's not what the other team's doing. It's what we're doing. It's what we're going to do. So I'm expecting a couple things. Aggressiveness, physicality. You got to out-hit this team. Look, I agree. I know not all California is soft, but when I think of California, I think it's soft, served ice cream maybe or something like that. I know, Southern Cal's different than Northern. I know San Fran's different than LA, but I'm boxing in like everybody else does. I'm throwing you in a box, but they're going to come here and they're not soft. San Fran's a physical football team, and so are we. But you got to out-hit them. You got to start from the beginning, control that line of scrimmage. Look, think about this breakdown, Grammage. You look at our offense. You've got Cam and Anton. They've got Chase and Boza. Don't forget they got Armstead and Hargrave too, who are pretty darn good. Hargrave coming over from Philly. Hasn't had the best year yet, but still potentially a total stud. Now flip it around. You look at Trent Williams. You look at their right tackle. Right? His name's a McLeod or something like that. Mike named it in the show. No idea who he is. But it is going to be against those two guys, plus against Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker. Who wins those will likely win this game. You can't let Boza Young and company take over this game like who? Like Chris Jones did. Different player, right? Chris Jones is inside, physical, definitely, a guy that causes problems for a lot of people. But Boza can too. And if Young gets going, look, Young had a good rookie year, got hurt, a couple years not so good. This year he's having a pretty good year. That was a big pickup. By the way, Randy Gregory's on that team too. He can rush the passer, right? So they've got some players on that side of the ball. You got to keep Trevor clean. You got to pound the rock. You got to keep Trevor clean. And Trevor Grammage has got to go to Trevor ball once again. When it's man and they're all flushed out of the way, take off, right? You're faster than a giraffe. You're as tall as a giraffe, but you're faster than a giraffe. And you can make plays with those feet. So I'm looking forward to some Trevor ball. Look, you beat San Fran. Look, they've been a team that's been in the NFC Championship game, I don't know, 3 out of 5 years, last 3 years, something like that. They're a very good team. They're a well-run organization. John Lynch does a good job at the GM. Shanahan's a good coach. There's no doubt about it. It is a big win for us. But it's not the end-all, say-all. We still got some really tough teams that we got to take care of, not only in our division, but in the AFC, of course, with Baltimore still to go, and Cincinnati, who's playing some darn good football. But this is a big game, but it's not too much of a big game, if you catch my drift.
The 2 games after San Fran are arguably the 2 most important games of the season, with the Titans and Texans, because the Titans, if you beat them in that game and then, at least go 500, I think the Jags would do better than 500, but win a respectable amount of games the rest of the way. If you win that Titans game, you pretty much shut the door on any chance they would have of winning the division.
Yep.
And then the next week, Houston's only 2 games behind.
You got to take care of Houston.
And
they got you. They got you last time.
You got to win that football game, man. You really have to win. That's a must win.
Yep.
And it's not to say that this San Fran game is not super important. Of course it is. And I think it's most important for the Jags just in terms of national perception. And I know we don't care about it, but
and
you
record,
get what I mean.
Keeping with the C, because that matters,
of course.
What your record is.
Of course. But if you were to tell me that out of the next 3, I get to have 2 wins and I have to pick one loss.
You know what I'm picking.
This game would be the loss.
Yeah, but I do you have them winning? I got them winning.
Oh, I do. I'm just saying, like if someone was like making a deal with me.
No, right.
And
put a gun to your head and say, which one are they going to lose? You're like, yeah, let San Fran have the win. Who cares? I agree with that, but that doesn't take away the importance of maintaining that. Like 6-2, you go 7-2. You're stride for stride with KC.
And it takes
and Baltimore for that matter.
This game. The Chiefs game at the beginning of the year did, even though they lost and didn't play super well. And then this game, and then I'd say the Bengals and the Ravens games, the 2 night games that'll be here, are the temperature-taking games of the season.
Bills.
And Bills, yes. Are
the Big 5, like we call them in the beginning of the year. This is one of the Big 5 without question.
This is the only NFC one.
Yep.
And you're right. They're not the class of the NFC right now. I think that's clearly
they're still
the
dangerous.
Eagles.
I'm not saying they're not a good team. They are still dangerous.
None of us would be shocked whatsoever if Championship Sunday they're playing in it.
Yep.
In the NFC.
Yep. Although Philly's looking good.
They are. But I think everyone would agree that this game, depending on how it goes, you don't necessarily have to win, even though I agree with you. I think they will win. is a statement in some way.
Yep.
A statement will be made somehow, some way at the end of this game.
No, it's an important game. I just don't want people to think it's like, oh man, if we lose, we're
screwed. It's not that way.
No, you get blown out. We got some things to talk about come Tuesday, or when I get back on this show. But I don't see that happen. I got them winning. I was gonna go 27-23, and I still will on this show. But Dempsey picked that first, so I'm like, all right, 28-25. The cousin's gonna come through though. The cousin who's not my cousin, McManus, is going to come through. He's going to have to kick some field goals. So anyway, those fumbles, 8 of them that were lost, killed drives that were in scoring position. That can't happen. That's a critique that's got to be better. And part of that is Trevor, and part of that's the backs not holding on to the ball. Right? You got to secure the football, man. That is absolutely huge. So,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they're going to make some plays. Unless you totally rattle Purdy from the get-go, you know what I mean? If you get to him really early, maybe a different story.
First quarter,
right?
Type thing.
They'll make plays. They are very and Debo's back. McCaffrey's really good. Ayuk, like you mentioned, Kittle. And look, one of my keys from the radio show is don't let Kittle beat us like Kelsey beat us. And knowing Shanahan, I guarantee you, has been studying that tape. Like, okay, how does he do it? Maybe not that you would forget about Kittle, but when you got McCaffrey, you got Deep, you know what I mean? You're still thinking about him, but it's not like you're doubling Kittle. Maybe he's going to look at Kittle having a big, big day against our defense like Kelsey has in the past. We can't let that happen either. But look, it's going to be a great game. We'll go through the stats, no doubt about it. I'll give you my picks that I picked on the rest of the National Football League. We'll just go through them really quick, and we'll look at our Jags. I'm looking at my notes just to make, it's just look. Here's the crazy thing about San Fran. They've lost the last 3. They've only scored 17 points a game in each game. That's the highest. That's every game is 17 points in the loss. Even with that, they still average 27.3. points per game on offense.
It's impressive.
It's impressive. We're at 24, and we've had 2 30-plus games. So just keep it in perspective.
And you just said that we turn the ball over all the time in scoring position.
Right. We're missing, take half.
Taking tons of points off the board and still averaging what we're averaging is very impressive.
So conservatively, if you kick field goals instead of fumbles, 7 out of 8, that's 21 points. Divided by whatever, 8 games, that's what? 2.5 points a game, something like that. That can make a difference. There's no doubt.
Good math on a Friday
about that. Not bad, huh?
That was quick. That was like
I think it's 2.5. It's around 2.5, something like that. But then how about this on defense? Right, they've been getting beat the last 3 weeks. Defense is still ranked 4th in points given up at 17.5 a game. So it tells you this team, even though they're on this 3-game losing, they're still very, very talented. Well, let's go through the stats brought to you by my friends at Team Tommy Mac. Make sure you check out the carpet, man. Don't forget, not just LVP. It's carpet, it's hardwood, it's tile, it's laminate, whatever you need. Go to their warehouses, go to their showrooms, just see all that they offer. The best, highest quality at the lowest prices, and great to have them on this show. Of course, I love all my sponsors, love representing you on this show and out there in the market. All right, let's go through the stats. So I mentioned the points. We're at 24.1, and our defense is at 19.5 a game. We're 7th, tied for 8th. They're 4th again on defense. They got a good defense. They got a good team. There's no doubt about it. Our yards per carry on the ground is not good enough. It's just not good enough. Trevor actually brings it up, and it's at 3.8 as a team. Come on, you gotta get. Hey, maybe with Walker at left guard, maybe that opens things up. Maybe we can get some push. Look, Eric Armstead and Hargrave are very good interior defensive linemen for the San Francisco team, and we already talked about the linebackers, so they got their hands full. But it's got to be better. They give up 4.1 yards a carry. Okay, so that maybe we got some leeway there. Control the clock a little bit. Pound the rock, maybe demoralize them a little bit. But let me tell you.
I rip off some big ones, too.
Yeah, right.
Etienne doesn't need much.
He doesn't.
Can I get a 30-yard? Can I get a 40-yard? Can I get a couple of those explosive runs?
And I heard Johnson's going to be in more than Bigsby. Did you hear that?
I did not.
Yeah, Dempsey was just saying that. So we'll see if the Ernest Johnson may get some chances. But we got to pound the rock. And look, they're going to try to pound the rock. I mean, McCaffrey's a weapon all across the board, but he's a weapon running the football. And they want to pound and try to demoralize you. So our 3.6, man, we're third in the league. 3.6 yards per carry for our defense. Listen, a former linebacker, that makes you feel like really, really good. And you got the takeaways to back it up, and your third down, which I'll get to. But
that's part of why that defense has been so successful this year.
Yeah.
They've made basically every offense they've played one-dimensional.
One-dimensional. Yeah, they have. They're only giving up 79.3 yards per game on the ground.
Well, remember,
that's astonishing. That's phenomenal.
I think the defense's most impressive performance all year so far was the Colts game here in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Because if you remember, Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor tore the Titans apart.
They did. Zach especially.
They had like over 150 yards rushing.
Yep.
They come here and it's like
nothing.
It's like you may as well have high school running backs carrying the rock. Right. They weren't doing anything.
And I know people say, well, Minshew threw for a bunch. I don't care about yards. I don't care about yards. You can have 500 yards as long as you don't score and I make you turn the ball over. You can have all the yards you freaking want. I think it's overrated.
Because you can throw for a ton of yards and not score a ton of points.
You could throw for a ton of yards and not be that good of a quarterback.
Yes, 100%.
You can be an okay quarterback because you're throwing for all those yards, but that doesn't always tell the story. Anyway, let's move on. All right, yards per attempt. Interesting enough, even with the three-game losing streak, Purdy's at 9.0. So they do throw the ball down the field. 68.4% on that. Their defense is impressive at 6.3. So that means there's a lot of big plays. We're at 6.6 on defense, by the way. So very comparable. And then we're at 7.1 on offense. By the way, that number keeps going up. All that means is that Trevor's looking down the field a little bit more. That's what that means. And I think that's important. Because dinking and dunking, you can get away with it if it works, but eventually they just sit on those things and you don't get first downs.
Did you watch how much of Thursday Night Football last night did you watch?
Let's see. I texted my boy Frank Komet, whose son Cole is the tight end. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and just said, "Oh, geez, this doesn't look good." He wrote back. He's like, "It's the lowest of the low." This was in the first quarter, so I saw the highlights this morning, but I did not sit through that game.
So the reason I bring that up is Bryce Young, who's had a really rough year. He's really struggled.
Yeah.
Watching their offense, talking about exactly what you were just talking about, pushing the ball down the field, taking some shots. They don't take like any shots.
He doesn't have. They took away the Elijah.
Right, exactly.
Right? He went to the Bears.
DJ.
What was it?
DJ Moore.
DJ. I'm sorry. What did I say? Elijah Moore.
Who's on the Browns.
Okay, thank you.
But anyway,
DJ Moore, the wide receiver, right? He's a big player for the Bears when they give him a chance.
Just like you're saying, the dink and dunk stuff can work, but it's only going to work effectively if the secondary is worried that you will go over their head.
Right.
Because if they're not worried, then they're just going to sit on everything, and there's going to be no room to do the dink and dunks.
Tom Brady made a living out of dinking and dunking, lulling you to sleep, and then hitting you with the shot. Yep. And that's what you're talking about. When you take that shot and hit the shot, then you're scared to death that can happen at any given time. But we can't just keep giving them dink and dunks because they're getting first downs. Listen, first down, will you not take a 6-yard pass?
Of course you would.
Boom, second and 4. Right? Take a 5-yard pass for a first down. Boom, no problem. What do you want? You want to now? Guess what? We're into our third sets of downs, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, he's going to do dink dunk." Boom, over the top, double move. Forget about it. It's wide open. You know those are the things that can happen. But you got to have that threat. They don't have. What do they have? Feeling.
Yeah,
and I like him as a player, but he's old and he's not scaring anybody over the top.
Right.
You got to have that now, which brings me to Ridley. And the Jags. Now, I don't want it forced because sometimes I feel like it's forced. Like we got to make a big play to Calvin Ridley. But I want to see more big plays out of Calvin Ridley. And I do think, look, Zay. I don't think Zay's playing. At least
I don't think so either.
I think they're calling it a long shot. We need Zay Jones back. I think this offense does. I've been saying that. But regardless, Ingram's got to have a big day like he's been having. I think Kirk's going to have a big day, especially if they're in man and we can flush them out and get them one-on-one. But Ridley, I want to see more out of him. I do. Look, what do I see? I see the 9 route, which is just a fly pattern. I've seen the deep out, right, where he goes down and then they throw it on the back shoulder.
They do that deep out a lot.
They do that a lot, which takes time to happen.
It's successful if they have time, though.
It is successful because he's, they're scared to get beat deep by him. But I want to see a little bit more of a number one guy isn't just the guy that goes deep. He's the guy that gets the ball and makes a big play happen.
Stephon Diggs is the example. Yeah,
I'll go back. Hey, it's alumni weekend. I'll go back to Jay Smooth, right? Jimmy Smith will beat you deep, but guess what? He'll beat you on the slant, and when he gets that ball, he's a threat to take it to the house. So is Ridley. Now, I don't know if Ridley likes going over into traffic. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know that answer, to be honest with you. I don't know that. Maybe he's not really good at going over the traffic and focusing on that ball, even though that safety or nickel or backer's coming at him to knock his head off. Because that, to me, you start doing that with Ridley, now it's not just I got to worry about him going deep. I got to worry about him going, on these shorter routes that are hitting quick, and he's taking off, and I got to tackle him in the open field. I want to see more of those plays out of Calvin Ridley, not just, hey, let's take a shot down the sideline with him because maybe that corner's not paying attention.
And move him around a little bit more, too.
Yeah.
They've done a couple stuff. They've done a couple of things with some jet sweeps and stuff, which I don't know if I love with him because he is an explosive player, but he's not the fastest receiver on our team. He's a very fast receiver.
No, right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Just literally straight line speed.
Yep.
But I think very similar to the way the Bills use Stephon Diggs runs around all game. Jamar Chase in Cincinnati.
He does. You're right.
And because they do that, you end up with really favorable matchups. They do this we do this with Kirk extremely effectively. I just think, shoot, man, let Ridley do the same stuff. So, a linebacker or a nickel can't guard Calvin Ridley either.
Well, here when it's really effective is when the defense is in zone. Because zone, you don't go with your man, you slide.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where. So if a guy comes in. Say Ridley comes in from the outside, and there's a slot receiver next to him and maybe the tight end, okay? If he slides in, we just recount. That outside player isn't going in with him. You know what I mean? He would run with him and stop with him and cover him. In zone, no. So I may go from being an inside backer to having the tight end to having Ridley coming because he's come inside, and now he's the new number 3 for me. And if he goes up, you know what I mean? It could really cause a problem. That's what you're talking about, moving him around in that fashion. I agree with that. He's got the playmaking ability,
and they've done it some.
Yep.
But I'd like for them to do it more. I feel like sometimes
I agree.
I feel like sometimes when the offense does get in those droughts and those ruts where for a quarter they just can't move the ball for some reason.
Yep.
A lot of times I feel like the receivers are very stationary on those plays, and there's not a lot of horizontal pre-snap movement and stuff like that. And it's like, man, I promise you played in this league. You played on defense. You can speak to this even better than I can, but I promise you that defense doesn't want your best players constantly moving.
No.
They want him to be stationary, know exactly where he is at all times, and be able to say, here's our assignment on him.
Yeah.
When he's moving all over the place every play, what the hell do I do?
Well, that, and if you're in man, you're wearing out the guy who's chasing across the line,
100%.
Chasing back and forth. It does take energy to do that, right? So that can come into play. But I do want to see that. I want to see us better on third down. We're still at 35.5% on third down as an offense that is atrocious. It was way better last game. No doubt about it. They were about 55% on third down. Look, the lulls, the lags, the third down, and the yards per carry, those are the things that can set you back or hold you back, not set you back, hold you back. Our offense, even though averaging 24.1 points a game, I think it's 10th in the league. Just think about it. And I'm a half full guy, right? So I sit there and go, man, wait till they do put it all together, right? Wait till they do get ETN up and running and getting at a 4.5 yards per carry clip, which he should be at, right? Way over 4 he should be, in my opinion. That guy's too fast to not be making dents about 4.4, 4.5, 4.6 like Freddie Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew used to do. You know what I'm saying? I could see that out of him, but we got to be better on third down. They're good on third down. They're 4th in the league. And again, after 3 games, they're probably not being very good, but they're at 46%. Our defense, though, tied for 4th on third down. What I say about third down? What I say is so important. Now, it's not important when your offense doesn't convert. Like, yeah, I'm giving you the ball back, but you're just giving it right back to me. So you drive me insane. You know what I mean? Like, convert, which they did last game. So they got to convert on third down this game. Of course, 4th down, which is part of it now. They've only they haven't done much. We're 4 out of 11. They're 3 out of 4. And we've had like 20 against us, and we're about 45%. And they're at 50%, 5 for 10 on defense. Sacks, they've only given up 14 sacks overall. Their defense has 18. We've given up 19, and our defense has 16. Of course, Josh Allen, the bulk of that with 9. 4 picks for us, 5 picks for them. On defense, 11 picks for both units. Turnover ratio, we're +5, they're +4. On paper, this is a tight game, and I think it's going to be a pretty tight game, but I think it's going to be a very exciting game in front of the hometown crowd, hopefully with 100 alumni in the stands. We can bring you some good luck, man, and good juju to get it done. Let's take a quick look around the National Football League. Do want to thank Graffiti last night for hosting Tommy Mac's Happy Hour. Adaptive Jags, they take care of all the production, all the promotion. They do a great job. Josh, thank you. And, of course, Pat and the entire team, including my daughter Avery. They do a fantastic job. And Brackish Vodka, homegrown, down home, locally distilled. They do a great job.
Dear friends of the program.
Dear friends of the program, no doubt about it. We tasted some last night on the show. It was good. It was really good.
Love Brackish Vodka.
And I want to remind you, Salt Air Inn and Suites. I just told my older brother about it. Who's coming in town for Thanksgiving. He's staying there. He's so excited. 4 blocks from the beach. Beautiful amenities. They got the bikes. They got the surfboards. They got access to the pier and all places around the entire beach. So make sure you check out Salt Air Inn and Suites when you're thinking of coming to the beach down here in Florida, or if you're in town and just want a night getaway to have a good time at the corner. All right, big games this week, and we'll wrap it up. I think Cincinnati hosting Houston's a big game. Cincinnati's on a run. They're feeling pretty good. Houston's on a little bit of a run. They're feeling good. Of course, they're feeling really good with their QB. Cincinnati without Chase and without Higgins, I think. But I'm going to still take Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow's that type of QB that can carry an offense. Their defense is starting to rush a quarterback a lot better. Hendrickson, who I've always liked. Hubbard is getting after it. They've got some players on that side. But I think Cincinnati takes it at home against Houston this week.
Who would you rather win that game?
Good call. I want to beat Cincinnati on primetime when Cincinnati's rocking. You know? I do. So I'm going to go Cincinnati. For the division, if I was, I shouldn't say this because they beat us. And I don't mean this that they're not capable of beating us again. They are. But I'm not that worried about our division right now. You know what I mean? I'm not. I think we showed we could take care of Indy. Tennessee, I think we're going to take care of Tennessee. And Houston, look, they got us the first time around. I think we're going to get them the second time around. I think we're a better football team, and including up here. But that's a great question. But I think Cincinnati, I want to see them win. And look, I want that Monday night game to be just unbelievable, right? It's going to be great with Cincinnati coming to town, and I want them at full strength and winning pretty good.
I think I agree with you that I think I'd rather Cincinnati win.
Yep.
Because I don't disagree that I'm not super worried about the division, but I want to be not worried, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like once it gets to about December, I want there to be no question.
Right.
And we're getting close to that.
Yeah.
You know, 2-game lead on second place with an opportunity to beat them and create a 4-point lead.
That's right.
4-game lead for yourself.
Yep.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
But in the next, what I would really enjoy is to be able to kick my feet up in about 3 weeks and be like, this division is over.
Yeah.
It's over.
I think we're close to it. I do. I don't know. And you know what? The next 2 games after this one will tell us a lot. It's Tennessee and it's Houston.
And then,
we're going to know in 3 weeks.
In terms of expectation and everything with this team, we just spoke about wanting a higher seed and making your life easier on yourself in the playoffs.
Yep.
But the one thing that this team has to do is they have to win this division. If they don't, if they lose this, if they don't get first place in this division,
right,
this season
then
is a failure.
Wild card. Yeah.
This season is unless they literally get a wild card and make the Super Bowl or something. Obviously, that would change.
Right,
but for all intents and purposes, the only thing that could possibly make this season a failure in my eyes is not winning this division.
Yeah,
they have to win the division,
yeah.
And because with the Bengals, if the Bengals get the 2 seed and the Jaguars get the 3 seed, like whatever sucks, but like I can live with that.
Right,
it's not the end of the world.
No, I agree. You're still traveling,
right? So I think I'm at the point where
you may be hosting the wild card, right? If
you would, yeah.
Maybe.
If you win the division, you're going to host a game
Right,
regardless.
right.
But I'm saying second round,
right,
third round. Let's stay home.
Right.
Let's
then you got to keep up with this win over San Fran.
Yep.
So you got to come away with that. I'll tell you who I picked for winners. I got Indy winning on the road at New England, Cincy at home. New Orleans beat Minnesota. Minnesota on a 4-game streak, man, but I got New Orleans coming in. This one won't sit well, but I got Green Bay going to Pitt, beating the Steelers. Not sold on them. Tampa Bay will take down Tennessee. Jags take San Fran. Baltimore will beat Cleveland. Arizona will beat Atlanta. I'm sick of Atlanta. I every time I pick them to win, they don't win. And they had a chance to win last week. That was a great game. I said it Tuesday, but that was fun to watch. Josh Dobbs.
Also, I've never seen a team less capable of getting the ball into their hands of their best players.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, do they even know that Pitts is on their team?
Do they know that Bijan Robinson's on their team? Or Drake London? I mean,
yeah, well, he's been hurt, I think. He's coming back this week, though.
These are your last 3 first-round picks.
Right.
And they don't get the ball.
Right.
You're throwing it to Jonnu Smith and giving it to Tyler Algier. No disrespect. They're good players, but what the hell?
Yeah, you got to use your talent, man. That's no doubt. I got the Chargers beating Detroit. Hey, listen, if Detroit goes out there and beat them, that'll be impressive. Dallas is going to just crush the Giants. Sorry, my Giant friends. You guys are terrible. Just
bad, like stinky.
Bad luck, bad game, bad.
My living room starts to smell bad when they're on the TV.
I will say, and I'm happy to see it because I did think he was the most natural pass rusher in the draft the year he came out. As Thibodeau's playing some pretty good ball. I think he's got about 9 sacks. He's getting after it. To me, he's a natural bender. I thought he was good.
No disrespect to Brian Daboll.
Yep.
But this season is proving that him winning Coach of the Year over Doug Peterson last year was a joke.
You can't let that go. I get it. It's all good.
I don't know why, but that just bothers me.
But last year was last year, and they had a great year last year.
It was. But I just thought.
Yeah. What Doug did in a year is what really is the story. I mean, think about that. What he did in 1 year.
Crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
Took this team from a more dysfunctional than my house growing up, which is interesting to say.
This was the most dysfunctional franchise in the league, and it was not an argument.
No. And then he came in and turned it around in a year. So let's keep it going. All right, I got Seattle at home beating Washington. I'm on this Vegas run. I like that they made these moves, and I think they're gonna have some more emotion this week. The Jets' defense is good, but their offense absolutely is terrible. So I'm going to go with Vegas. And then Buffalo. Look, can Denver beat Buffalo? They beat Kansas City. By the way, Russell Wilson's having a quietly good year statistically. Do you see that? He's playing pretty well.
He's picked it up a little in the last month.
Yeah, he's playing pretty well. So we'll see what happens there. But, hey, look, go ahead, man.
I was going to say before, because I know we're about to sign off.
Yep.
Can I give you one stat about the 49ers really quick?
Okay, or let me guess it. Give me a hint, and let me see what you're talking about.
So Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
He has played 32 games as the 49ers head coach where he has entered the fourth quarter down by 3 points.
Okay. How many times?
What is his record in those games?
Down by 3 points.
When the fourth quarter starts, the 49ers are losing by 3.
Okay.
He's had 32 games where that is the case. Three or more, I think.
I'm going to go 27-5.
1-31.
Really?
1-31.
No kidding. Dude,
isn't that unbelievable?
That is unbelievable.
They do not play well from behind.
Wow.
And you don't see it that much, and it's not a huge narrative because they're almost never behind.
Well, I'll tell you this. Watching the last quarter of the Cleveland game, when they were trying, now they weren't behind by a lot, but they were behind, and Cleveland just pinned their ears back. Purdy couldn't do anything.
Correct.
I mean, nothing for series. You're just like, oh my gosh. Every time he dropped back, they were on him. He had to throw the ball away like half the times. I mean, it was like unbelievable. You can get to Brock Purdy. You can. I know Trent Williams is phenomenal. Hey, he may get his on his end. Let's get the rest going. And by the way, interior D-line, let's go, man. Doing great against the run, but we need some push up there. You make Purdy uncomfortable, I'm telling you right now, he'll start seeing ghosts, and you'll win this ball game. Period. Our QB don't see ghosts. He's tough as nails. He gets hit all the time. But Purdy, I've seen it. He's just like Minshew. Make them uncomfortable, and they'll make bad decisions and bad plays, and we'll win this game.
I was just about to say, I'm glad you brought up Minshew because the 49ers are a much better team than the Colts. I'm not saying they're the same team.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is a similar game from that Colts game here in Jacksonville. I know I've brought it up a couple times. Just in terms of if the Jaguars get out to a lead, the 49ers are in trouble.
Yep.
I think our team is built to be able to come from behind if they have to. You don't want them to.
No, I know.
But if the Jags get out to 10-0, 13-3.
They just can't have the lag, though.
I agree.
Because they've had success getting up ahead, and then even coming back. Look, Houston, think about Houston, right? 17-10. 17-0 at half. We come out and it's 17-10. You're like, oh, here we go. And then it just starts going south. And next thing you know, they're hitting wide open guys for touchdowns. We're throwing the bad pick. And it's 37-17 before you can even blink. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I agree with you. I was smirking because last year was the opposite. Started slow and then finished strong. Now seems like we're starting fast. But we have that lag. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, and think about it, how series can go. And I know we're going to wrap up here, but think about how series can go. And I don't care what series. We just say you're in the middle of the game, right? It's third quarter. And you try pass in the first down. Incomplete. Second attempt. Try run. Get 3. 3rd and 7. Try pass again. Pressure. Can't get the ball off. You're punting. That's how quick it can happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
And then try it the other way.
What you mean.
Okay, 1st and 10. Pound it up off tackle. He gets 4. 2nd and 6. Try it again, because that's normally what they do, it seems. Doesn't get anything. Now it's 3rd and 6. They're expecting pass. You throw a pass. It's incomplete. You're off the field again. Next thing you know, that's 2 series. We're not doing anything. You know what I mean? So part of it is play calling. Part of it's actually, that's like the whole game. But that's why you have, and you feel like these are these lags. And the coaches are sitting there going, man, well, okay, fine. But on that 1st and 10 throw, the receiver cut the route off too soon and was in the wrong spot. Whatever. Or the quarterback threw it in the wrong. If he throws it in the right spot, or the guy runs the exact route that he's supposed to run, it's 2nd and 8. Now we get 3 yards, and now it's 1st and 10. You know what I mean? And that's the rhythm. I do think we're going to see, and I hope no San Francisco people are listening to this, but I think, and they should, run a little misdirection at him. It's okay. Trevor's knee's good. He's back at home. He's got the brace. Let's do some of that. You know what I mean? Now,
couple of keepers,
couple of just getting him out where he can throw or run. Get him out in the open a little bit. Mix it up a little bit. They expect run. Let him pull it out, right? And go around and come out the misdirection side. I want to see some of that, and I think we will. It's going to be a great game. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm just swamped, man, all weekend. I will be going to my friend Matt Thornton's ceremony tomorrow at Church of 1122. And pay my respects to a man taken way too soon who really impacted a lot of people. And, man, I'm not going to get on my soapbox here, but at the end of the day, and I'm being totally serious here, it's not about fame, fortune, money, what you have, what you don't. It's about impacting the lives of others in a positive way. So when you die, people can sit there and go, you know what? That person was a great person. That's what life's all about. And if you believe in heaven like I do, that's how you're going to be looked at first and foremost. So keep that in mind for what it's worth. That's going to do it for me and Grammage this time around. We will be back Tuesday, hopefully for a victory celebration, and we'll celebrate. And if not, well, we're going to have to critique them a little bit and see if we can right this ship as we go head-to-head with Tennessee and Houston the next couple games. That'll do it for me this time around. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, be cool, and we'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.